Greetings again. Welcome back to another records unboxing. This one is again from the good people at Record City, Japan, and it's also another bundled package, combined bundling it up with my main man Danny to save on costs. So let's crack on into this one. Well, all right, let's do this. Now I did turn it upside down because I'm maybe assuming that this is again packed the other way than the labels appear. Always get mixed up which one is which, to be honest. So I'm going to go for this way. Let's do a quick spoiler check there. Yeah, no, it was the right way up the other way. That doesn't really matter at all. We'll just go from bottom up, really. Okay, so again, really well packed, as expected. Let's have a look. Okay, well, first up is an LP I have. Look, I've overlooked for a fair while because it's not really high on my list. This guy is all over everything, or was, and I suppose he still is. But look, I still thought this one could have some good value, especially for the price and the artist. It's just after he shifted labels from CTI to Milestone, and that is Mr. Ron Carter with Pastels. Yeah, so I think this one's about 1976, perhaps, around there. I didn't pay a lot for it from memory, which is why I pulled the trigger. And to be honest, because the Australian dollar is faring a little bit better these days against the Japanese yen, look, it was 549 Japanese yen. So it was, about 550 Australian, but really a bit under, plus a bit of post. Because we managed to get the post down quite a bit again to about, I don't know, about $3 each record. So yeah, as I said, look, Ron Carter. It's Ron Carter. Yeah, he's awesome. But as I said, sometimes, I think his solo stuff is just not as strong, to be honest, around this time. That's comparing to other people he played on. But again, for the price, I mean, what are you going to do? Not do that? Well, I mean, you could, but anyway, so really, really reasonable price. Yeah, there's some ring wear there. That's not too heinous. Here we go. We've got some stretched out tracks here with 5 tracks on the 2 sides there. Well, across the 2 sides, I should say. We've also got some arrangements by Don Sebeski, who also was doing work with the CTI in the early part of the 70s. Now, we look down here. Yes, so this is a Japanese pressing. It does say copyright or whatever, 1976, yeah. This is a 1977 press. I just pressed a year later in Japan, so might be their first press. But anyway, yeah, it's on a Milestone, which again, it's quite a reliable sort of independent label for jazz. And it is gatefold, so I'm going to crack this one open because it's quite easy to get out, which is nice because they don't seal their bags, well, they rarely do. So it makes it really easy to get them out and doesn't stick to the cover. So yeah, that still is mimicking the US release cover anyway, too. It all looks legit like the US one. Let's have a look inside. Oh, that's nice. I'll just try to get rid of that glare a little bit there. Just hold it up. That's a nice gatefold inner of the 70s one, isn't it? I really like that. And we also reveal here who else is playing on here. Yeah, we've got Harvey Mason. Awesome. We've got Hugh McCracken on guitar. And I think it's that Kenny Barron over here. Just a bit glary there. Yeah, Kenny Barron. So again, some top-notch musos, obviously, as well. Yeah, we'll see how it goes because Ron Carter, once he does his solo stuff, he tends to experiment a bit further, particularly with bass, and on he's playing with the piccolo bass as well. So that obviously the bass is more front and center in terms of what's featuring. And yeah, look, it can make an interesting listen, but not always the funkiest sort of thing. But hey, I thought 1976 is just post 75. It is Ron Carter. It is a milestone, so it's not going to be terribly commercial in terms of sort of that disco era at all. In fact, it's probably going a little bit more, as I said, more usually a bit more. I wouldn't say avant-garde, but more experimental and more stripped-back jazz. But with Mr. Harvey Mason, who knows? Anyway, so really, really inexpensive LP. This one all up, it was under $10 with the post, easily. It was more like probably about $8, something like that. Yeah, can't go wrong to put some more Ron Carter in the collection for under a tenner at all. Okay, next up, I'll just slip this one out. Okay, this one is not for me. This one is Danny, and I can't tell you too much about this hip hop thing. It is a 2 LP, which is very nice. I believe, he got a very good price for this, considering what it is. And it's look, I can't tell you too much. This is it's called From Souls of Mischief, the Focus LP. There you go, and it's just plain cover, so that doesn't give me much to go on either. And just like looking like a promo thing there in a way too, with the just the black and white labels. I don't know if that's what that is, but I cannot see really anything else. Oh, a little bit of sort of a tag logo and such in there. That's nice. But yeah, look, I'm gonna be honest. Don't know now. I'm just gonna check how much. Anyway, he paid for this. Yeah. Okay. So 2,980 yen. So at the time, it was probably about 29 Australian. Something like that, plus 2 lots of posts for 2 LPs, so probably maybe $6. I don't know, something like that. But I wish I could tell you more because it's not giving me anything to go on, is it? In here, it does seem like a single sleeve. Yeah, that's a single sleeve and 2 LPs in there, just in a plain black sleeve. So I feel a bit bad. I can't say anything more about this, except I'm sure Danny will enjoy that immensely. Okay, moving along. Oh, okay, this one I can tell you a bit about. This is a Japanese pressing issue of an LP from, I think it's 1981, from a very prolific 70s drummer. Now, I know that's funny saying 70s drummer when this is 1981, I believe. But this is the Japanese press of an LP that has been reissued recently. And it's been reissued with the original cover. I would say American, but I'm not sure if the originals, I think, might have been German pressed, though, or some of them might have been American pressed at the same time. I believe it is a German company. But yeah, so this does have a different cover, but I couldn't pass this up because I had been after the other one and I got this for a better price. And it still looks like an interesting cover, just a little bit different. And that is Alphonse Mousson. Oops, I'm just going to sit that there, but with By All Means. Now, the other nice thing about this, which you might notice straight away at the top there, is it has Herbie Hancock on and Freddie Hubbard. Nice. So that sold me as well. yeah, Lee Ritenour is very competent guitarist, doing a lot of fusion stuff at the time, and mid to late 70s. And interestingly enough, it's got the Seawind horns, who started on CTI, I'd say post 76, 75, with a couple of LPs, and then I can't believe remember the other label they moved on to. So a bit of an amalgamation here. It still does have an Obi, not that I really care too much about that. But yeah, the cover is different, but yeah, it's really nice and solid looking here. Let's just turn around here. And yeah, we get the Japanese, you can see in there. Price-wise, I believe I got a pretty damn good price on this, yeah. So it was 1480 yen. So yeah, around the Australian mark at the time, about $14.50. Plus a bit of post. So again, I got it under 20 all up, in really good condition here. So cheaper than I would be able to get it at the moment on the reissue, which is actually quite expensive-ish at the moment. I think it'd be hitting around the $40 Australian mark. But yeah, I don't get the original cover, but hey, this is still actually quite a decent cover. Here, sorry, Alphonse, you're covered up again here. I won't pull off that Obi there. So yeah, look, I'm really happy to get it for that price. I purposely haven't listened to this one or streamed it. I've got a couple of Alphonse Mouzon's 70s up, his later 70s ones. I think they might be both on MPS. Still after a couple of the ones he did on Blue Note. And the funny thing is too, like if you look at the original price there, it's very similar actually to that original price back in the day. And back in the day, that price would have been even more considering inflation. So yeah, look how nice it looks. That is in superb condition, eh? That is minty. So I'm expecting some, obviously some sort of late kind of fusion, but probably starting to slick it up a bit by 1981, or smooth it out a bit. I'm not sure, because obviously, yes, Mr. Hancock was doing that at the time. Freddie Hubbard, though, at the time was, I suppose, he was doing a bit of that, but also leaning back to the old school roots. But we'll see with Lee Ritenour. Maybe it goes a bit more fusiony with that. I'm not sure. Looking forward to this. Nice pressing. Oh, here we go. I just discovered this. There. By all means. And yeah, there is the original cover, just in black and white. It's also got Paul Jackson Jr. there. Sorry, I didn't see that before. He wasn't listed on the front. Very nice. Yeah. So yeah, at least we've got a nod to the original LP cover there as well. That kind of makes it a little bit nicer too. Alrighty, rocking along. Look, this next one is an interesting one. Okay, so this next one is the second and possibly final LP by this artist. I believe this second LP he recorded probably about maybe 5 years, or released it 5 years after his first one that is actually a really big sought after LP. I have a reissue of. This one, look, this is a bit of an oddity in a way. It's going to need some explaining because this is a later, or I think it's a Canadian issue or possibly reissue. But it's slightly repackaged with quite a misleading title. Now, this is, just to get to it, this is William Vaughan's LP. Now, it says, "Be thankful for what you've got." Well, it's not really. The first LP, was that. This has the artwork of the second LP. And in fact, has the tracks of the second LP. But they've used the title of his most popular, well-known song from the first LP, maybe as a way to catch people to buy. I don't know, because the second LP, Figures Can't Calculate, I think it's called Figures Can't Calculate the Love I Have for You, or something like that. That is this. This is, yeah. So look, I thought, because it wasn't that expensive, again, well, yeah, it wasn't cheap, but and I never really see that second one, rarely ever. I thought, hey, I'm going to just still get this. It's the same artwork, same track listing, apparently. I'm pretty sure, unless this has got extras, but it's just got the different title, and I'm sure I can tell the difference. So let's flip it around here. Now it's got here W Mott Records. Yeah, I've never heard of that. I'm pretty sure this is a Canadian production. So let's have a bit of a squeeze down here. Oh, okay, yeah, so this is a later, it's a 1994, so it's a later pressing, but you'll see there it's got the 1980. So I believe that's when it was first released, obviously, around then. And yeah, you can see Quebec, Canada. So they've just slightly repackaged. Now, I will take that out, and it looks actually in really great condition just from there, and even this does. Because I can see how this is very misleading. So this is why you see there it's got Be Thankful for What You've Got 12-inch mix. I believe though that is not just a 12-inch mix, it's a re-recording. So there might be a little, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, I did look this up. There might be a little bit of refudging of some stuff here, because it's also got Be Thankful for What You Got radio version. But again, that's the well, I'm hoping in one way, because I've already got the original, that this is when he redid it. Which is why, as I said, they've called this album this, maybe to trick people and think it's the original. But the rest of it is not from the first album. I'm 99% sure. Okay. And you'll see there we go, there. So that is the actual original title track. Figures Can't Calculate, yeah, in brackets, The Love I Have for You, is actually the original official name of this LP. So that's basically what's missing from this repackaging here. And yeah, you can see there, 1980, made in Canada there, but doesn't make any mention on the back here, which is, again, a little bit sneaky cheeky. 1996, read or whatever. What was it? 96, 94? But hey, as long as it sounds good, and I'm pretty sure this looks authorized from what I've seen so far, I'm okay with that. Yeah, maybe trying to catch on the fact that the original was sampled a lot and referenced in hip-hop music, and then rediscovered, and a lot of people thought it was Curtis Mayfield, rightfully so in a way. It does sound a little bit Curtis Mayfieldy, and his first album is really nice, but I've got a feeling that's why they've done this repackaging under the misleading Be Thankful for What You Got album title. But yeah, so if you are interested in the second one, just look for that artwork anyway. So yeah, that's great. So now I've got, I think that's all he did, maybe 2 LPs. He might have done some 12 inches as well, but I'm pretty sure at the time, unless he's done some way later. But anyway, William Day Vaughan. I am thankful for what I got, that I got that. Okay, let's tuck in here. Oh, yeah. Okay. The next one, yeah, I paid a little bit more for, I'm pretty sure, but hey, couldn't go past this from an artist I actually have a fair few of now. Still a couple more of his I want, to be honest. Great cover, no nonsense sort of photographic cover. I believe this is like 1975, possibly 76. Yeah, he had one in 75. It was called 75, I believe. So this should be the next year. And that is Mr. Jimmy Griff with Red Beans. Well, I like that. No nonsense. Cool cover there. Mid-70s goodness. On Groove Merchant, as it sneaks in there. So he's still on Groove Merchant doing his groovy thing on his keys, organ. Maybe he's stretching out to synth as well by 76 perhaps. Love seeing that Groove Merchant label. For me, that's always a reassuring thing. It is a gatefold. Oh, is it? Or is that just... Oh, it is. Oh, it's a gatefold. Even better. So, again, I believe this is in really good nick. Looks shiny there. Looks quite nice. Just on first appearances. I'll just put that to the side so we can crack in and have a squiz at the gatefold, which is always a delight. Well, usually. All right. Now, just a little bit of, maybe a bit of moisture damage, maybe. Yeah, it feels a little bit, slight moisture, yeah. And you can probably see in here, there's a little bit of mold, maybe a little bit of black mold or something, I don't know, something. But I'll pull back here so you can have a look here. Yeah, that's nice. Good to see. And yeah, we've got 3 pictures of Jimmy McGriff. And one of Brad Baker, who was probably producing this, I would say. Maybe even co-writing or something at the time. That's just funny. Let's put 3 of McGriff himself. Well, here's his LP. He deserves it. All right, so 3 songs per side. Oh, look at that. We've got Space Cadet by Bob Babbitt. So we've got Bob Babbitt on, I don't know if he's on, well, hopefully he's on bass on here. We'll have a look in this. Oh, yeah, there it is. You can just sneaky see that in the corner there. So that's great. That's good news. Loving some of the names. Cakes Alive. Big Booty Bounce. That's what you want. You want titles like that in the mid-70s. Yeah, so let's squizzy here with Bob Babbitt. Nice. We've got Pat Rebel on keyboards. He's always does fantastic work. Did a lot of work with Herbie Mann. I think even late 60s through the 70s. We've got a bit of Mike Brecker here on the tenor. So that's great too. And John Faddis again. Oh, we've got Randy on trumpets. We've got the Brecker brothers, we can say officially there as well. So yeah, we've got some top shelf players there. A bit of vocals. It is mid-70s. Of course you can get the vocals, even if it's some chorusy sort of, you know, chanty sort of vocals or something. We'll see. And there, yeah, we go. So it was recorded September 76, and then either, you know, sort of like copyright that year or released that year. I'm going to say it was released in 76, probably late 76. Yeah. And is that a Fender Rose? I'm just trying to see that. It's very likely it is. So maybe that's what they're trying to show you, that he's maybe he's mixing up what he's playing on. Yeah. Well, that's going to be some good stuff there. Yep, Jimmy McGriff. Yes, it's post 75, but I think there's still going to be some down home goodness in that one for 75. All right, next one. This one for me is a replacement copy of an LP I bought a fair while ago at Very Good Minus, I believe. So I thought it was about time to get an upgrade to I think this is like a Very Good Plus or the Mint Minus in terms of the vinyl. The cover, I'm going to have to check against my other one which cover's better. I do believe it's the same pressing. Again, this one is from, I think it's 75, around about there. We'll find out. from an awesome band. So this is still in good era stuff. Look, I wouldn't say this is their best record, but it's still in their really good era. They're just starting to stretch out a little bit differently in terms of the feel. And that is Kool and the Gang with Spirit of the Boogie. Still on D-Light Records there. Yeah, and it's great artwork here, illustration. So yeah, being a replacement copy, I'm very familiar with this album. Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit in some places, like Spirit of the Boogie. It's still funky, but it's getting a little bit more consistent, almost like 4 on the 4 thump, almost clubby thing. But other things, they're starting to get a little bit more sort of stretch out spiritual jazz, that kind of thing. But in a more, I suppose, accessible way than other forms of spiritual jazz at the time, like more freer sort of stuff. So they still sort of keep a lid on it and a sort of a more 4/4 beat sort of thing to it and groove. But yeah, they do start to stretch out on this one with some of the themes. So let's have a crack around here. Yeah, I love seeing that D-Light logo, especially because it's associated with the best era of Kool and the Gang. I'm going to crack open this here because it should be gatefold. I bloody hope so. Yeah, it is. All right, so let's have a look on the inside here. Yeah, so look, the cover's probably not as splish as the vinyl, but I was more so after an upgrade on the vinyl. The vinyl I've got's okay, just very good mine. It's not the cleanest. And because I value Kool and the Gang so much, I did want to get a more playable copy. But this is still, not terrible. A little bit of split at the top there, and a little bit of wear. But let's flip it now to the outside. There is a bit of wear here. Just let's try to prop it there. It's probably not in its full glory on the gatefold, but you can see it's got some edge wear and some spine wear near the edge there. But again, it's not heinous. I just think it might be the reverse. I think on my other copy that the cover is better than the vinyl. On this one, it's the other way around. So being that I think it's the same pressing, original US press, they might be able to do a little bit of clever swapsies there and get the best of both worlds. But yeah, look, Kool and the Gang. Oh, yeah. I'm thinking 75. Let's have a look. Is it going to tell us there? Come on. Do you like? Can't see it there. Let's check the inner. Oh yeah, there it is. Sorry, you could have seen that before. My bad. Yeah, 1975. Awesome year. If I do say so myself. Awesome year. Best year. So yeah, we're still in 75. Kool and the Gang. It is not 80s Kool and the Gang. Yeah. Alrighty. Oh, sorry, price. Price for that, I hear you ask. Of course you do. Yeah, look, 1980 yen. So again, like it was under 20 at the time, 1950 maybe, around there, 19 Australian plus a bit of post. So to upgrade, I didn't have to really push it very hard. That's why I also got that one, because yeah, I wasn't paying exorbitant price to do that. I can just quietly slip that one in and slip the other one out. All right. Next up, this one I don't have. I've got 2 other LPs by this group. They're not the most known group at all, from the mid-70s. And look, the 2 I've got of theirs are the ones before this, and they're pretty damn cool. Pretty funky sort of stuff. Around that mid-70s time. This is 1975, so they're starting to get to the disco era influence, but not too hardcore on this one. I think there's some nice enough mix in here that there's some up-tempo stuff, but some really nice vocals and a little bit of funkiness to it still enough. Because I did stream this one, just to double check. And yeah, I dug it. So I went, okay, I'm going to add this to the collection. That is a band known as Creative Source with Pass the Feeling On. Now, I believe that was also the single from the LP, which is obviously very typical. From the time, it's off Polydor, or on Polydor, I should say. Yeah, 1975, I believe. And they're more of, these guys are like a vocal ensemble. So we're thinking around about like Undisputed Truth time. We're talking about Post Temptations, sort of Norman Whitfield time. Around that era where, yeah, we had the vocal acts still a lot of time front and center, and then other instrumentation backing them up, or studio musos or whatever, and producers, you know, directing the thing. Now I'm just going to get this out here so you can see the back. So we've got the nice Polydor red label, so I don't mind that one. You can see they're manufactured by Polydor, so it's a US pressing. I'm not sure where else they would have pressed this, how big it was. There they are in their 1975 Gab. Looking fab there. Starting to get a bit of open shirt for the ladies. Yeah. All right. Now, let's have a look down here. So, yeah, we've got the 1975 there, printing USA. Here we go. We've got some Skip Scarborough. So I'm going to guess he's on some production here. I was wondering, I couldn't remember if this was Norman Whitfield, but I didn't think so, because I think he was still working with, you know, Undisputed Truth, which is a similar sort of thing, I suppose, to this one. Now, let's have a look-see. Yeah, there's some really cool songs. I don't mind, you know. Like, it's a bit more accessible than some other stuff at the time, but not too over the top, you know, cliched too much. Yeah, I enjoyed this. It's a nice sort of up-tempo album with a little bit more of a clubby feel in some ways, and still with the sort of themes of love and stuff, and, you know, love and happiness, those sorts of things. Yeah. Now, it says produced by Mike Stokes. Not sure who Mike Stokes is. I definitely know Skip Scarborough there. There's Wade Marcus doing some arrangements. Definitely know him. Musos. Let's have a squiz at the Musos. Alan Schwartzberg on drums. It's probably well known there. Who else have we got? Will Lee on bass. There you go. Gordon Edwards on bass. Bob Babbitt again on bass. So we've got some great bass players. James Gadsden. There we go. He's tight as. In his drumming. So that probably explains a lot there. We've got Ray Parker doing his studio thing still. We did a lot of work at that time, and it was really, really good stuff in the 70s, like, you know, on Pointer Sisters, things like that. And Sonny Burke on keyboards. Hey, there we go. So, yeah, some really top-line musos there, and studio musos as such, which probably explains why the instrumentation is quite nice. It's good. And a little bit funky still. So there's enough balance, I believe, on this LP. How much did I pay, you say? Well, Creative Source. Look, I paid a little bit more than I probably wanted to, but not much more. And it was in really, really good condition. 1980 yen again, like the Cool in the Gang. So we're just hitting over the $20 mark, all up, Australian. Yeah, I'm happy with that. They do have at least another album, I think, after this one, but I think again they're just sort of going with the times a bit more, and it looks a little bit more classy looking, and maybe changing the sound again. I don't think I'll get that one. I think I'm happy with these first three by this more obscure act. Yeah, but I'm still very happy to have that in the collection for 1975. And again, 1975, the best year. All right, cracking along with this big bundle. All right, let's just okay, this one is for me as well. This, I believe, is the second LP on this label in the sort of mid-late 60s that this artist recorded. He recorded lots and recorded for other people as well. More of a jazz/jazz pop sort of thing. I do have the other one from this time, so it was nice to get this one finally, just to, you know, flesh out that little bit of a collection there. And it is a kind of dual label, which we'll talk about in a minute. And that is Nat Adderley with Calling Out Loud, with one of those great early A&M CTI covers. They were doing it at the time when, Creed Taylor was doing the sort of joint A&M thing where he was running this part, and the aesthetic and quality, and you can really see this. It's hard to sort of see there, but look at that. It's even metallic silver. It's just had better days. Well, that's pretty splish. Yeah, loving the close-up of those little crackers there. That one's actually, you know, is that a spark or is that where? Hard to tell. Let's have a look at the back. Yeah, we've got the classic tan A&M label here with the CTI and Creed Taylor signature before they split off and were their own thing in the 70s. And this one should be gatefold as well, yep. But you can see, if you've seen some of these other ones from the time of the A&M CTI, it's the same sort of design, layout, aesthetic, which they kept very consistent, which is a nice thing. And thick cardboard and gatefolds. I don't know if they're all gatefold. I'm pretty sure we'd be close to having them all, the original ones being gatefold at the time. So it was that whole thing of the extra value that Creed Taylor was trying to put in, that extra like bit of classy value you got for these records. Now Adderley, I'm sure he's just playing trumpet on here, or if he's playing cornet or something. But let's have a look in firstly. Oh well, let's firstly crack open so you can see the whole gatefold. Yeah, look, a little bit of wear here, but that's okay. It's still intact. Being that this is like over 50 years old, easily over 55 years old, probably more like 58, I think. 57. Now this is made in 90. Well, I don't know if this was released 68 or 69. So it's still before, as I said, CTI just broke away as their own thing. We've got a little bit of aging around there, but that's okay. It makes it look the part. And we've got, what, about 8 songs all up here. Recorded with Rudy Van Gelder, very nice. So you can see it was recorded then. So I'd say this is probably released 69. And I don't think they would have had time before Christmas to master and all that stuff and get this out before the holidays. Now let's have a look at the musos here. Yeah, okay, there he is. He's on cornet. So I was on the right track there. Bass again, look, Mr. Ron Carter. Drums, Leo Morris, who is Idris Muhammad. That's cool too. We've got Joe Zornal. I always forget how to say his name. On electric piano. So this is getting near the time when he worked with Miles, I think. I'm pretty sure. And look, Hubert Laws, who also turned up on CTI a lot. So around that era there. I'm just trying to see others. I've seen some of the other suspects that turn up on a lot of these LPs at the time on saxophone. Selden Powell, Jerome Richardson, they often turn up as well. Yeah. So yeah, look, I know this is going to go a little bit more sort of commercial oriented, pop sort of oriented at the time, obviously on A&M. But hey, it's still Nat Adderley and Cannonball Adderley's brother here. Still got a great lineup there. We've still got Creed Taylor in charge. We've still got Rudy Van Gelder. We've still got Ron Carter and Idris. So yeah, I'm digging that, and even the cover. I'm really just digging the cover, the silverness. That's plush. Okay, let's have a look at the price. Again, the price was pretty reasonable here. 1580 yen. It's about $15.50 Australian plus a bit of post. So again, under the $20 all up, posted to me. This cardboard, by the way, is super thick. Old school. Goes in focus. Anyway, trust me, it's nice and sturdy. Old school cardboard, solid. That's why it's probably lasting. Yeah, so cracking. Alrighty, so much to get through again. I'll move on. Alright. Okay, what's this one? Alright, the next one. This one was a treat. This one I think was the most expensive in here. I paid a bit extra to get this LP because it's always expensive. I've never not seen this expensive. Even the reissues are really expensive. Look, got a great era here, great label, awesome artist. I'm just excited to have this in my collection. I think I got a couple of tracks on a compilation from this, but hey, you know what it's like. I still wanted to get the real thing. From my favorite, I would have to say, got to be up there as my favorite trumpet player. And if you know me, you'll know that it's Freddie Hubbard, and this is Breaking Point on Blue Note. Nice. So yeah, finally got this. Did have to pay a bit for it, but hey, it is Freddie Hubbard. I paid 3980 yen, so it might have been about $39 Australian. So it was under the 40 by the time, and then a bit of post. It's just sitting just over the $40 mark. But for this LP, for this artist, that's these days actually very good. I just don't see it. And the condition it looks in is a very nice. I can't remember the exact condition, but I'm pretty sure it was like at least very good plus, because I didn't want to get a sugar cracker copy. So let's have a look. We've got the Blue B, which means it'd be a 70s pressing, but I'm okay with that. Yeah, so it'd be a Liberty pressing or whatever, I suppose. Or United Artists there. That's okay. Let's have a look-see here. I'm trying to get some hints of the year. I'm trying to remember what year this is. It's definitely about 67, 68. About that. Yeah, I just can't remember the exact date. I'm sure I'll shine it up somewhere around here in a second. Yeah, so, wow, what do you say? Freddie Hubbard on Blue Note, mid to late 60s, Breaking Point. And yeah, look, first side, 2 tracks. So stretching them out, grooving them out, and 3 on the second side. Getting some good meaty goodness there into the songs for each song. Let's see, personnel-wise for this era. So we've got James Spaulding, who started to appear on, some stuff on Blue Note around this time anyway, on other people's stuff. Don't know if he ever had his own solo LP, off the top of my head. Anyway, Ronnie Matthews, Eddie Kahn on bass, and Joe Chambers on drums. There we go. Yeah, cracking. You can see that it looks, even though it might be obviously a 70s press, it's still looking really, really nice, which is okay by me. I can't even, there's no like splitting around. Let me take it out. So it goes into focus for the people playing at home. Is it going to go into focus? No, it's not. Alright, but anyway. Yeah, it's all very solid. Even if it's a later press. So yeah, so glad to have that in the collection. Some earlier Freddie Hubbard on Blue Note. Even though I did have to pay for it. It was inevitable if I wanted it, really, unless I got very, very lucky. Okay, moving along. All right, next one. Now this one, look, it's been on my list, not really high. I know it's a popular, or was a popular LP. And there's obviously one title that's cited a lot by this fusion band of the 70s, the big hitters here. I was always just waiting for a good price, to be honest. And I'll be honest, this is probably the last LP by this band that I buy. I do have a few of the other ones, early ones, prior to this LP. But in terms of buying any more after this year, I think I'm going to be done with this one, to be honest. And that's okay. I'm really looking forward to this. Having listened to this highly acclaimed LP by Weather Report, and that is Heavy Weather. And you can see there's some really, really nice nick there. Now, I know there's been probably a million reissues and copies of this popular LP. Is it 1977? It's about that, isn't it? We'll find out in a minute. But yeah, like, I still thought, well, if I'm going to get it, I'll get a decent copy, but at a decent price, because it should come up. And it did, because I've seen it plenty of times. This one is a Japanese pressing, and that's fine by me, because it means it should be in really, really good condition too, really well looked after. And the grading is probably very generous for what it was at the time. Look at that, is still super shiny. So, hey, I don't care if it's a Japanese press, it'll sound really good. Particularly for this era fusion stuff where it was recorded immaculately at the time. Nice, also Japanese insole, blank on the back, but nice glossy one as well to go with. The OG backdoor, I've recognised that back cover, I've seen it so many times. Yeah, a little bit of wear. I'm not too worried at all for this particular LP anyway. But the other thing with this one, why I thought, hey, apart from the notoriety of this, is with this particular configuration of Weather Report, we do have Jaco Pastorius on here, and I don't think I've got any of the ones with him on. Yeah, so I thought, well, that's a nice change as well to hear, because obviously his playing was raved on about as well. And yeah, look, I've seen some footage of him and stuff, but I've not owned a Weather Report album with him on. I think I've got some other things where he might have guested on some people's things. So yeah, that's a nice different thing here. It's a different incarnation of the Weather Report by this particular time. Let's see, it's got the Birdland song. I think is the one that's often the track that's often referred to or put on hits things and stuff or what. So we've got 4 on one side and 4 on another. So maybe they've reined things back in a little bit, maybe in terms of length of songs there. Yeah, and we've still got Wayne Shorter there on sax, or different saxophones probably. Oh no, he's playing soprano. Oh yeah, okay. So he's at the stage where he's playing just a lot of soprano, high register stuff. But who else we got on here? Yeah, Akuna, congas, tom-toms, what's that? And drums on other tracks, obviously. But is it Badrina? Badrina on congas there. Yeah, Zornel. Still doing the keyboard thing. Yeah, let's just squeeze down here. Still on CBS there, or Columbia. and CBS Sony in out of America. And yeah, there you go, 1977. Okay, but you'll see they've got Pistorius, courtesy of Epic, so he must have had his own solo signing, perhaps, with Epic. I would take that. But yeah, look, I'm going to give that a crack. Look, I've probably got way enough Fusion now in my collection, so I'm not going to just go too silly. As I said, I don't think I'll go past 1977 with Weather Report. When they've got, most of their pre-stuff right up to their first LP. Yeah. Oh, price. Sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot to report the price. So, let's have a look-see. Yeah, like this is 980 yen. So, well, maybe hitting the 950, 60 Australian, $9.50, and then, a bit of post. So it was probably about $12 all up for, really lovely condition thing there with a little bit of wear. So not a bank breaker, that one, by any means. Okay, what's up next? Okay, this one definitely did not break the bank. I've got a few LPs from this artist, and all of them bought from Japan and Japanese issues, because there's plenty of them, and they're plenty inexpensive. Again, look, it's not my favorite artist, but very solid. Some good, sort of, I don't know if you call it post-bop, maybe, getting towards modern, but post-bop. Great keyboard play with other people. Again, I'd say this is a would be a Japanese pressing, I'm guessing. We'll see. But yeah, it's from about 1961. And that is Wynton Kelly with Wynton Kelly exclamation mark. Yeah, so yeah, he's a quality player. This is on VJ, which is cool to have some VJ. I don't have a lot of VJ. It's probably mostly Wynton Kelly I have. Yeah, his stuff is nice to play. Again, it's not probably the most memorable, the most exciting, outstanding, but it's solid, it's reliable stuff. And if you look at the lineup there, we've got a lot of the usual suspects from the late 50s, early 60s. In terms of, look, Paul Chambers on bass, Sam Jones also on bass there, and Jimmy Cobb playing drums. So, some of Miles' mates and from around that time, and probably Coltrane as well would have been. So yeah, and Wynton playing on their stuff back in the day. So look, it's great to see Wynton Kelly in here. I love the old school. That looks very, much of the era, late 50s, early 60s aesthetic there, styling, design. Really cool. And in fact, they've appropriated that photo from one of his other LPs. This is kind of funny. Let's have a look on the back here. All right, so I've talked about the personnel. We've got some standards there, and that's what I mean. Like, yeah, it does some nice songs. You see, They Make the Man Love Me is one of his compositions or co-compositions, but a lot of it, yeah, is sort of would be. We call them covers now, but there are some more Wynton Kelly originals to sort of balance it out, which is nice as well. But yeah, look, we've got Someday My Prince Will Come as well there, and Surrey with a Fringe on top. Yeah, Autumn Leaves, all those ones. So yeah, at least we get balanced out between some sort of, call them covers, I suppose, and originals. And yeah. They're low price, but they're solid, and pleasant albums to listen to, quite accessible, without being, like poppy, or anything. Now price, you should see. Okay, yeah, so it was 1080 yen. So it was just over 10 Australian plus a bit of post. So And again, the quality, I believe, was very good, plus at least, or something. For the vinyl, cover's looking pretty good, except for a little bit of just what do you call it? Aging staining along the edge. But the rest looks really solid. I'm just gonna crack it open. It's not a gatefold, but let's see if we can see anything else in here. But yeah, it's like definitely certainly solid here. And I cannot see at the moment though anything saying it's a Japanese pressing. It probably is. I thought it was. I just can't see any indications, which is quite unusual. Just, well, if it is, I'll let you know. Anyway, yeah, inexpensive jazz there, early 60s stuff to have in really nice condition. Okay, cracking along. Okay. All right. Okay, now this next one, I'm going to be honest, is a complete gamble. I rarely do this as a complete gamble. I have nothing by this artist before. I purposely didn't even stream this. I thought, look, I'm just going to give this a go because I saw some of the players, and based on the players, I thought, yeah, I'm going to give this a go. Look, it is post 75. It is 1977, so made the gambling odds even higher. But we'll see, because I believe this is a vocalist whose name is on the marquee here. And that is William Eaton, and an album called Struggle Buggy. Now, look, the cover is probably, yeah, it's pleasant, but I don't know if it really says a lot in terms of what we're going to get here. Looks pretty soft and, painterly, so doesn't look, too offensive as such or out there. And here, though, look, I can't tell you much about him. This is on Marlin Records here. Oh, Marlin and something else. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's just published by. So, yeah, with Marlin / TK, which John Trapea was on at the time. So we might have a little bit of sort of soulful fusion here, maybe, because if you look at the players, this is the thing. Look, we've got Steve Gadd, Ralph McDonald, Anthony Jackson. Look at this. Eric Gale, Hugh McCracken, Richard T., John Grolnick. Yeah, like usual suspects and a half. Okay. Yeah, a lot of associated with the sort of smooth jazz fusion that was happening at the time. But then we go to the horn section. Yeah, Brecker Brothers are there, Ron and Cuba. So, and you probably notice some of the other names here, like Alden and Rubin, that were on the other LPs we just looked at. And then we've got some vocalists, I believe. They've got they're mentioning some vocalists, like Gwen Guthrie's there. Noel Pointer's on fiddle, of course. And look, Paddy Austin there. So it looks like it's a fairly vocal-oriented affair, or features affair, but that doesn't mean it'll be bad. Being honest, I don't know. I have no idea. And there we go, look, there's your background singers with your Paddy and your Gwen Guthrie and stuff. So, hey, there's some top line people there. What's down here too? That's a string section as well. Okay. Yeah, look, the string thing, frightens me a little bit, maybe a bit put off. But I don't know. I just thought, hey, every now and again, I'll have a crack at something new that I don't know about. Sure, I could have checked it out. The price is $1,480, say $14.50. A little bit of an investment for a gamble there, but we'll see. So it's still under 20 all up to have a go at William Eaton's Struggle Buggy, not to be confused with Cleveland Eaton, the Awesome bass player. Okay, next up. Okay, what's this one? Okay. This one is for Danny. Although it looks pretty damn cool to me, I can see absolutely why he bought this. It does look like a bootleg, but hey, it still looks like it's got some interesting things on by Absolute Awesome. Well, we call them hip hop, I suppose. You know they are, and then plus some. That's some Beastie Boys stuff here. With a Rare Tracks LP. I don't know if it's called Rare. Well, it's got there saying Rare Tracks 1, yeah. But we've got a white cover, almost like a white label thing here, without any other credits on here. Some different versions of the Awesome Sure Shot. So What You Want. Yep, 3 MCs. Now this is only one LP, I believe. Yep. A couple of 4 versions of Get It Together, sorry. She's on it. Okay. That's interesting. And Hold It Now, Hit It. Okay, so they're going back a little bit. That's a bit unusual. But anyway, yeah. Now it's got a price in there, but I don't know if that's the actual price or that might have been the original price for this. So let's have a look, see at how much it was all up. This one was very inexpensive, 1280 yen, maybe about $12.50 Australian plus a bit of post. So yeah, you're probably hitting about the $15 mark there, for a bunch of sort of remixes and stuff, alternative tracks, but just obviously on an unofficial release, their press. Yeah, okay, that could be yeah, really interesting actually. I'll be interested to hear about that one back from Danny, of how that went. Okay, next up. Now, this one is also for Danny. I believe this might be a mid-70s sort of thing from a particularly, well, I suppose both artists were really popular in the 60s, sort of mid-early 60s particularly. Yeah, this one though, it would be interesting to also hear about this one because I've never heard this one, this LP. I don't even think I've seen it before this, and that is Stan Getz and Mr. Sorry, I forget always how to say his first name. Joe, wow, Gilberto, the best of two worlds. I know. I always hear his name and then I forget it. Yeah, the best of two worlds. Well, it's featuring Gilberto. Yeah, so it's still more of a Stan Getz affair, I take it. Yeah, so I'm going to assume this has got some Latin flavors in here. You would expect, especially if we've got a bit of the acoustic guitar going on with maybe a bit of bossa nova kind of feel in there as well. But it is mid-70s, and it's even got the mid-70s kind of look here with the styling of the LP cover. But that's not to say it won't be fantastic. I just have no idea how this one's going to go. So let's sneaky down there. Yeah, there you go. 1976 CBS. Yeah, it looks like a sort of CBS thing from that era. Yeah, Columbia CBS. So like, you know, around the like Earth, Wind and Fire, That's the Way of the World kind of LP look, I suppose, that kind of thing. Yeah, and price wise, I don't think he broke the bank on this one either, and that is 1690. So about $16.50 maybe Australian at the time, plus some post. So you maybe just under the $20 all up. Yeah, there's a bit of staining or aging. It looks probably more like staining, like it wasn't kept in a sleeve, maybe. But maybe being it's a white colour, maybe it's just a bit of aging, or it doesn't quite look like foxing, looks more like staining. But the LP is probably in way better condition too. All right, so yeah, 1976, Mr. Getz. I'll get that one out of here and move on to the next one. All right, the next one is one I purchased. It's very similar to another LP I've got by this trio, or sort of the bigger name, and then sort of marked as a trio here. It's getting a bit later on. I'm not always overly thrilled with the trio stuff, but we'll get some quality trio playing here that's a little bit more in the older school vein by this time, which is 1981. However, I got a feeling that this was a Japanese only release. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this one was recorded in Japan, so it might have only been released or originally released in Japan, and that is the Herbie Hancock, billed as Trio, and then billing there to Ron Carter and with Ron Carter and Tony Williams making up the Trio. A bit of ring wear there, nothing too full on, but look, I do have another Herbie Hancock Trio on, and I was a little bit afraid at first it was the same one, but I've from about 1978, maybe even 9, around there. But I think this is a completely different recording to that one, and the giveaway there is, if you look there, it's actually saying recorded in 1981. On their digital system at the time. So being a Japanese recording and pressing, it should sound very nice. But probably should be very airy and spacious, being it's a trio here. And interesting enough, with 3/5 of Miles Davis's great little second quintet, I suppose you'd say, minus Davis, minus Shorter. So some 3 players who know each other very well, had a longish sort of history together. 1981 though. So we've got a different version of Dolphin Dance on there from Herbie Hancock's Dolphin Dance. We've got Benny Golson's Stablemates at the top. I'm pretty sure I've seen that done a few times. We've got A Slight Smile by Ron Carter. So we've got a Ron Carter composition there. We've got a Tony Williams down the bottom, Le Maison Arrêt. That's the best you're going to get from me. That Old Black Magic. I'm pretty sure that's like a standard, isn't it? Sort of thing. So look, this should be some pleasant stuff. There's some interesting dynamic here with the 3 players. Again, I haven't played this. I may have a track of this possibly on a Herbie Hancock box set I've got, but I can't remember. So anyway, just another one for the Herbie collection. Oh, before I put that away, let's check out the pricing on that, because again, I didn't break the bank on this one by any means. Yeah, look, it was 980 yen. So yeah, what's that about? I don't know. It was around about the 950 Australian plus a bit of post. So again, I'm only getting, it's probably getting to the $11, $12 mark for some top quality musos there. Just some stripped back trio jazz from 81. Moving along. Okay, what's this next one? Yeah. I didn't stream this one. I felt I didn't need to. Artist I'm starting to get a fair bit of now, at a great time, on a great label, with a great cover, really. This comes from 1969, I believe. Although this is a later pressing. I believe this is an 80s, like OJC original, was it Jazz Collection, whatever it is, OJC pressing on Prestige. That is Mr. Dexter Gordon with the Tower of Power. Yeah, Prestige, late 60s. Very nice. Now, yeah, but I haven't listened, and I'm expecting great things. Particularly, we've got Buster Williams on here. Tootie Heath as well. Albert Tootie Heath. Yeah, labels Al there. So yeah, look, always excited getting some prestige stuff from this era. Even if it is the OJC reissue, but those ones were done really well on the mid to late 80s or something like that. Yeah. So okay, there. So we've got a remaster in 1987 yet. But there we go. Recorded in 69 in April. And with some stretched out songs here. But we've also got James Moody on tenor saxophone, Barry Harris on piano, Buster Williams on bass, and Tootie Heath drums. And 2 songs per side, nice and stretched out, averaging around the 8 minutes there, except for the Montmartre first track. Now, being Dexter Gordon, I've been starting to really catch up with my Dexter Gordon stuff, particularly his 1960s output. Getting a lot of the Blue Note stuff. I think this is the first one I've got of his on Prestige. So it'll be interesting to see what he's doing around that time. I'm not expecting it to be as funky as some of the other output on Prestige at the time at all. I don't think we're going to go down that track of being too soul jazz funky. But I'm sure that's going to have a lot of swing in this. Some energy in there too. Should be good stuff. Did I talk about pricings? No, I didn't. So let's talk about pricings here. Dexter Gordon. Yeah, again, I did not break the bank for a nice Dexter Gordon. Yeah, it's a reissue, but it's looking like a very, very nice reissue from the 80s. 1680. So it's probably hitting about the $16 Australian plus a bit of post, so definitely under the 20 all up. Posted to me in great condition. Hey, what do? You buy it. Okay, swinging along. All right, this next one I saw actually being recommended on another YouTube channel I subscribe to. And I do have a couple LPs by this artist, but not from this era, I don't believe. I think this is like mid-60s. And it's supposed to be one of those under the radar sort of records that probably hasn't garnered a lot of notoriety, but has been recommended as a good one to get. So I went there and got it, and without checking it, I went on recommendation. This again, I didn't pay much. That was the other reason. Sure, the quality of this one apparently was, I think, very good condition, but being that it's from Japan, I'm sure it's going to be better than very good. And that is Jerry Mulligan's Butterfly with Hiccups on Limelight. Oh no, well, it's got Limelight there, yeah. Same Mercury up there. So I believe it's mid-60s. Now, before I crack it open, because the cover's quite interesting, this one was like 580 yen. I paid hardly anything for it. Like 570 Australian, something around that, plus a bit of post. Definitely under the $10. $8 to $9. And look at that. Even the front looks in really nice condition. Just a slight bit of staining or something there. I'm turning around because it is gatefold. It's got this sort of groovy looking illustration. It's kind of 60s looking, isn't it? But this is definitely not, from my understanding, 50s Mulligan. Just see if there's any hints here, except that this is the Japanese pressing. Now, I believe the difference will be, though, that the US pressing has a different inner, a more spectacular inner. But we'll have a look in a minute. We'll just look at who's playing on here. Yeah, look, we've got Art Farmer, Jim Hall on guitar, Bob Brookmeyer is playing his trombone there, but a valve one. Dave Bailey on drums, that's cool. And I'm not sure who, I'm going to be honest, Bill Crow is/was. The others definitely know. Definitely some 50s stalwarts there. But playing, I believe, in the 60s. Now, I'm going to crack this one open, so I'll just pause it. Okay, so there you get the full glory of the front and back cover, open gatefold spread there. Very nice. Now, the inside of this, though, it's just a bit delicate. Just be careful. This is the Japanese version. Look, I'm going to be honest. I would rather see the American version because it is a little bit different and a little bit more novelty. But if I just carefully, as much as I can with one hand here, oops, without losing that LP. Yeah. I'll just try to open this here. And you'll see we've got this, whoops, sort of illustrated inner. But, oops. But the Japanese version, I'll just do that for now. It's not been too much. Well, you'll see here, this is like a little booklet. Some illustration that comes across. But I believe the original has got like more of a tricky little booklet thing. This has got a fold here for some reason. Maybe to do that, I don't know. Because I cannot for the life of me read that. And then we're sporting a picture of Jerry there. But yeah, like it's still got novelty factor with the book like this, but I'm pretty sure the other one is a different little illustrated, kooky little booklet. It's just a little bit more novelty value than that one. But still, apparently, yeah, the actual music is really cool. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Jerry Mulligan was up to at the time. Butterfly with Hiccups. Okay, cracking along. Couple more. Oh, okay. Next one. This one's for Danny. Now, yeah, this one, yeah, really well known hip hop artists from the early 90s, but I believe this is a not so well known LP after his major success. But I know he got this quite inexpensive price. I was very keen to get this one. I'm keen to know what it sounds like because I haven't heard it. That is Young MC with What's the Flavor. So this will be post the Buster Move for sure. Out on Capitol. So we'll see what the flavor is. I'd say this is early 90s. I don't know, it's like 91 or 2 or something around there maybe. I'm gonna guess here. I'll just remove this carefully. Now let's have a look. All right, what's the flavor? None of those tracks seem familiar to me. Yeah, doesn't mean it's not good. Okay, there you go. Almost 1993. So I'm going to guess this is the follow-up LP after his initial fame. Yeah, and yeah, I don't think I've ever seen this, even back in the day, to be honest. But again, that doesn't mean it's no good. Yeah, popularity is not always an indicator of quality. Yeah, so 1993 hip hop here. Now, we have a look at the price for Young MC. Yeah, look, very inexpensive to even have a crack at this. 980 yen. So again, you know, about 950 Australian plus a bit of post. So for about $12 maybe, all up posts around there, maybe even there. So for that, wow. And condition wise, looks like it's in great condition. Don't know if that's an indication of maybe not being played much. A little bit of scratch. It looks like some light scratches there. Hopefully, not too heinous. They look very surface, and most of the rest looks pretty shiny. Just needs a clean. But yeah, yeah, Young MC from 1993. That'll be yeah, definitely an interesting listen. I'm sure it's really well produced and recorded and stuff, and it is on Capitol, big label still. So yeah, just probably would say was not a big LP. Didn't match the heights of the first one. All right, and moving along, last one up here. This one is for me to finish off with. Look, I bought another LP not long ago. If you've watched from this artist, sort of post 75, wasn't so sure about, but had to go, and discovered then in that there was one just before it, from this artist. I think this is just before. This is 1977 on Muse Records, so it's still late in this artist's career. Had some cracking prestige LPs in the late 60s, maybe right to early 70. Played on other people's stuff. And then I thought there was only one LP after that. Well, there was two, and this is the other one. And this is by Sonny Phillips, and this is My Black Flower. And again, the price wasn't too crazy either to try this out. There you go, 1680. Looks like in a really nice condition. I did not stream this. I thought, well, I'll be in for that by Sonny Phillips here. So, yeah. Now I've pretty much got them all, I think. Yeah, so this one, we've got Jimmy Ponder here. He's probably the better known other muso on here. Yeah, got a nice pretty girl on the front. Now this was still got some shrink. I don't even see that. There's still some shrink there. Interesting. Down the bottom here, yeah, Muse 1977. But apart from this, you know, I'm not sure what this is like. I'm sure it's probably smoothed out a bit. It says recorded in 76. 3 songs per side. Yeah. Piano, Phillips piano and organ there. Okay, I don't know. I thought he might be on a bit of synth as well, but hey, that might be electric Fender Rhodes, I would say, at that time. In fact, I think I just from the corner of my eye saw the word Fender Rhodes somewhere in there. Sorry, I can't see where. I'm pretty sure it's Fender Rhodes as I said that. But anyway, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, so look, Sonny Phillips doing the post 75 thing. I'm sure it's very different again to his earlier prestige stuff. But I'm still really looking forward to that because I have not heard it. So I'll be going to that one with fresh ears on that. Looks in great condition too. So 1680 again, we're talking about, I don't know, just over $16 Australian at the time, plus a bit of post. So again, you know, be under the 20 all up, which I'm very happy with. And you'll see there. Oh, actually, sorry, it's in shrink because look, my bad. Mint. Oh, new. I forgot. Yeah, this is a reissue. God dang. Yeah, look at that. Under 20 posted. My bad. Hey, I was wondering why it's still in shrink. Yeah, this is brand new reissue. Under 20 people. Come on, you got to give that a go for under 20, hey. But I do. So yeah, even better. It should play like a dream as long as it's a great reissue pressing for under 20. And wow, that was a big saga. That will do it. I hope you got something out of that once again. I'll see you again. See you later.